Meeting over to Patrick Cody, Executive Director of Okemo Valley TV. He's here to talk to us about what's going on in the community and with the TV.
Okay, thank you, Jim. So thanks for having me back. This is, I think I was here a year ago, so catching up on what was happening at the station, and I can tell you a little bit what's going on now. So first and foremost, people always want to know, how do I find this stuff? In this like media landscape that we're living in, where there's all sorts of different platforms, and it's like we have all these options to find content, but sometimes it's hard to actually know where to go to find the stuff you want to find. Our station's pretty easy because we're simple. It's a real small, sort of hyper-local service area that we serve, and our audience is, I think we fully realize that it's limited, but I think we do serve a purpose in that what we provide is an outlet for really local, really hyper-local and regional community content programming that you can find on TV, on cable TV, if you have Comcast or VTEL locally, although that's becoming a decreasing sort of audience as people move away from cable TV, as they've been doing for years. That's been the trend. Or in rural parts of this state where people have never had cable TV. So a lot more emphasis is being placed on online. So we put all the local programming also on our website, which is okemovalley.tv. Our 2 cable TV channels are now streaming live 24/7, which you can also watch through our website. So if you ever just wanted to tune in to see what was on, but you don't have cable TV, you can do that through our website. Or you can watch on demand and just search for videos on our website. It's pretty easy to do. We have a YouTube channel. We also sort of pick and choose what we put up there. Usually it's the shorter programs. We don't do like all the really long meetings and stuff on YouTube. But that's gained, it's an increasing audience there. I think more and more people are actually will go to YouTube, especially young people will go to YouTube rather than, they won't even think to go to our website, and let alone turn on a TV. But they'll go to YouTube and search for stuff, and that's how they find content. So yeah, there's TV, which is the old traditional way of finding us. There's our website, there's YouTube, and then we do the live streaming. If you happen to have watching an over-the-top streaming service such as, I know we're on Apple TV and Roku, you can also download an app to watch us on those, and it's a free download, and you can find out how to do that on our website if you just go to the watch link on our main menu. So that's like, I give you that information because that's always one of the first questions is like, how do I find this stuff? So that's for like the viewing audience, and so the other big part of what we do, I mean, we have 2-pronged sort of mission. One is to serve the viewers with local community programming, and the other is to serve the content creators. So you, as community members and as nonprofit organizations and municipalities and schools, those are our main constituents. You all can use either your own equipment or use ours. We'll train you. You can have your own show. George right here is recording me. I don't know if this is really going to be fit for broadcast, but he is using our equipment to record me talking right now. When I hear you talk about next week, you have Kyle Isherwood coming. I mean, game word. That would be a great event to record. He probably has some interesting things to say. We will basically put anything on TV, but we'll help you make it decent with decent, picture, decent sound, so that so there is a little bit of training and hand-holding if you want. We also have a studio that you can come and record in, and you can have your own show. We're right now gearing up to do election coverage. We're partnering with the Vermont Standard to do a moderated forum for the Windsor County Senate and one of the local House districts. We're partnering with the Community Association in Cavendish to do another one for that House district. And then we'll be recording, I guess FOLA is moderating, which I just learned, is moderating a forum next week that we'll be recording in the Ludlow Auditorium. Am I right? Is that next week, Ralph? Or the week after?
FOLA next week?
Oh, he can't hear. Don't worry about it. I'll look it up. So yeah, that's. It's always better if there's any questions and I can sort of answer whatever you want to know. I know we're short on time.
Funding. Cable TV is shrinking audience.
Yes.
Are they squawking at the fees they have to support
Yeah.
you with?
Yeah, that was my fifth. I've made it through like 3 of my notes. So the fifth one, the last one, is always money. How are we funded? And it is largely 90+% of our budget comes from cable TV dollars. So we are regulated by the state to have this relationship, contracted relationship with the cable providers, and they have to allocate 5% of their gross revenues to us. That's just for cable TV subscriptions. So that is. The writing has been on the wall for some time that's going away, and we have been doing a little bit here and there we'll never be able to replace that amount because that's, for lack of a better word, I mean, I wouldn't call it necessarily a gravy train, but I mean, it's like we've been able to dependably rely on that for years and not necessarily have to be fundraising all the time, which has been actually a bit of a luxury, to be honest. And now, like, we're finding ourselves like a lot of small nonprofits in that we are going to have to rely more and more on fundraising. We have two primary ways that we do that annually. One is through individual membership, so community members can become members, supporting members, much like you would for your public radio station, by just going into our website and joining. There's, you probably will be receiving emails about that if you haven't already. That's an annual campaign. And another one is for businesses. So if you're a business owner or you know somebody who wants to support us, we can do a little bit. We don't call it advertising because we're actually prohibited from advertising, but we will thank and give acknowledgments to said businesses who support us on TV, on the website, in our weekly e-news. And that's another way to sort of connect with us is like you can go to our website and there should be a button, there's a news button, and you can subscribe to our e-news, which is just once a week. It comes out and gives you like 4 or 5 highlights, like local programs that we're showcasing during the week. We try to do that every Friday, although it's not like clockwork. Sometimes it comes out a little earlier, sometimes a little later, but it's just once a week. So yeah, funding is a little bit of a challenge. We're one of 24 other community stations like ours throughout the state. We have a pretty active membership and advocacy organization, the Vermont Access Network, which has been instrumental in helping us get organized and so that we can plan for our future. And one of those ways is we've generated some support in the state legislature that put a budget appropriation this year, has allocated an amount to us that's being split evenly. That's about $25,000 that we're getting this year that we didn't have before. So those kinds of things, like that is good, but we're never gonna get, one single amount to replace the cable dollar. So we're doing things and planning for that inevitable future of like not being able to rely on the cable dollar. So
the takeaways on funding are subscribe to cable TV because that's where we get some of our funds come from the cable fees. Or 2 is you could click on our website and become a member should you choose. Or if you'd like to add your business or organization, be an underwriter, we would be happy to entertain that as well. And so Patrick doesn't have to deal with that. If anybody's interested in any of those options, just see me and I'd be happy to help you out with that.
Thank you. George is a longtime board member of Okemo Valley TV and just about every other organization in the community. So we thank him, and he's been, 15 years or 16 years with us. So thanks, George.
Do I see you as a line item in the town budgets?
Oh, yep. And so that has been going on for years. So that's so when I said 90% or so, approximately, of our budget comes from those cable dollars, the other 10 is multi-layered, and one of those ways is town appropriation. So each of the towns that we serve, and we're a regional organization, but it's also we serve very small towns. So it's like Ludlow, Plymouth, where you live, Cavendish, Mount Holly, Andover, and Reading. So 4 out of those 6 towns provide budget appropriation or have made annual contributions through budget appropriations. And so that has been really instrumental over the years. And one of the last things that, there's been an increase, and I think Plymouth approved an increase for us last year, as did Ludlow and in Cavendish, and I believe in Mount Holly, because during COVID, we started to introduce or provide a means of meeting, not only just remotely, but hybrid, so you can meet both in person and remotely and have everybody here and see each other. And so we've made improvements along the way to that and streamlined it. And actually in Plymouth, your town office, we're helping to get a new system installed, so it'll just be a little more plug and play than it's been. And I think that's being installed sometime in October. So a new AV system that'll make those your hybrid meetings more seamless. So yeah, municipal support is huge. I mean, the municipalities are really probably our strongest partners that we have. And then then we have nonprofits, and we serve the schools and churches. The faith-based community has been very active in as participants and as creators, because they come in. There's several churches that come and record their own services every week and give us those recordings, and we put them out there for them. But what else? That's it in a nutshell. Thank you.
Okay, so in June, you guys all know that we were asked to nominate an organization for our Community Service Award. And this is the one that won. Patrick Cody of Okemo Valley TV, formerly LPC TV, joined the station in November of 2002, I think, almost 20 years ago, and has done an outstanding job with community access and disseminating important information to our area towns. With 2 channels now found on Comcast Cable and VTEL HD channels, as well as a strong online presence, he has led the stations and has been instrumental in helping people stay informed. Tropical Storm Irene devastated our area, and LPC TV at the time was a great asset, keeping folks informed and broadcasting the services available to help people. Recently, he assisted local municipalities through COVID, setting up Zoom meetings that they have really kept the communities informed. Okemo Valley TV and Patrick truly exemplify their mission statement, which I believe is, quote, to provide the Okemo Valley region and with equal access to multimedia technology for the purposes of education and information. Their vision is to strive to be the primary source to provide the Okemo Valley region with quality media and communication services. So as a number of us have been on the board, a number of us in this room have been officers and on the board of this station, or have locally produced a show like Ralph has for years and years, we know the hard work that Patrick puts in for almost 20 years to make this the most valuable resource in our service area. So, Patrick.
Wow, that's so...
this was actually an arts year, so Art, you might want to come present this to us. But you are
thank you.
Service Person of the Year.
This explains the camera, and I believe. Thank you.
Congratulations for all the great work.
Yeah, no, that's great. And thank you all. Yeah.